What's up, everybody? We're back again with Let's Talk Podcast. Okay, guys, today we're going to talk about, can the United States government effectively give back the power to the family? Okay, you guys got it. Let's talk.
I don't believe the United States government can give any power back to the family because of the current dynamic. One, being a family or having a family is not as popular as it once was. If you have a broken household or if you're low income, you're more likely to receive some type of aid or welfare. That makes not having a family sound good to some people. Even when you have a family, people don't necessarily like that because promiscuity is promoted, right? And that typically causes broken families when you look at children with different mothers and different fathers, and when you look at infidelity and cheating. Families are not as strong as they once were, and there are not as many as there once were. I also think in a family, the government still can't give power back because how children are educated nowadays, with as many social media platforms as there are, and with the public school system as it is right now, you can tell your child whatever you want, and social media and their teachers are going to tell them something completely different. The government can hardly control social media. They sue them almost every single year and nothing ever happens. They try and ban something, nothing ever happens. And as long as public schools receive federal government funding, they have to listen to the federal government. So I don't really think the government's going to change anything, especially since broken families are more beneficial to the government because they're easier to control. When people are united, the government can't control them as easily. So I don't think, even if the government could give power back to a family, I don't think it ever would.
All right, so this is a tricky one because the family unit has definitely been destroyed in America, largely by the U.S. government promoting radical feminism was a good one that convinced women that they don't need husbands, that they should just work on their own. The United States government was all for it because if you get a man working and the women working, then you can double the tax basis. Before, when it was only the men working, the income of taxes was pretty fixed. It only came from men, but once you start convincing women, you can work for yourself, you can work too. You don't have to do this for your husband, you can just do it for yourself. Now you have a population of men and women working, doubling the tax basis. So yeah, that's why they've promoted such degeneracy among the population. Does the United States government have the power to fix that? Probably not. The government is not in charge of individual morality. You have to, you gotta do the right thing on your own. You can't just have people trying to persuade you to do it. When you look at husbands these days, there's no men in charge of their household anymore. It's like their wives just walk all over them. It's like this catchphrase, happy wife, happy life. Like, what are you talking about? Does your wife have your last name? Do your children have your last name? Do you own that house? Like, what do you mean happy wife, happy life? Are you in charge or not? And then you look at promiscuity. It's among both men and women, but that's also a huge issue. The average woman before she gets married has slept with somewhere between 4 or 5 men.
Facts.
And it's triple for y'all.
Yeah. The issue with that is the psychological damage that comes from being promiscuous is significantly worse on the female mind than it is the male mind. There was a study done, I don't remember who it was, but it was a psychological study. I can't remember right now, but according to them, once a woman sleeps with 3 men, her ability to pair bond or fall in love plummets. It's very unlikely that she'll fall in love. Once she hits 8 men, she will never fall in love in her life ever. Like, her mentality is completely destroyed. So that's just a component of that. I don't think the government can fix it. I don't think they want to fix it because they're making a lot of money off of it. Men and women are working. Child support is heavily taxed. So the government makes a whole lot of money off of broken families, so they're not going to fix it. Even if they wanted to, there's no way they could. Honestly, I would say the only thing that can fix the family now is returning back to our Christian roots that were pretty strong, particularly kind of in the World War II era. I'm not saying that America was like the standard of a Christian nation, but there was certainly a degree of people that were very good Christians doing what Christ says. Divorce rate was low. Pornography wasn't really a thing. The government and not the government, but the people overall were just significantly better. So it takes people. Men need to be men. Women need to be women. You have to live the life that the Lord calls you to live. That's the only way you can fix that. It's not up to the government. It's up to yourself. Are you going to do the right thing or not?
What were you saying earlier?
Oh, how it's triple for men.
Okay.
Like, I honestly don't believe the study thing you said about after 8 they can't fall in love. I mean, there's plenty of women who have countless bodies and fall in love and are perfectly fine. And you have men their body counts in the 40s and they're on their third wife, and it's like, I don't know, the double standard as well.
Also, this thing, it definitely is both ways. When you sleep with more people, it's not as easy to fall in love, or your love won't be as pure or as genuine. Say I slept with, 20 people. That's not true, by the way. I'm just but say it's women. Let me. But let's say I slept with 20 women, and then I said I want to fall in love now. All those different women in my mind is just corrupting me, and I'm like, with this one woman I'm trying to fall in love with, and I'm thinking about all the others. Definitely, it's not as easy to fall in love, and you're not going to have as great as a love as if you were a virgin or hadn't slept with very many people. In my opinion, I haven't read any studies.
Yeah, I'm saying it's the same for men and women, but it's a lot. The sensitivity is turned up on women, because men and women don't think the same. If men and women we're the same, double standards wouldn't exist. But double standards are just a product of life. If men and women weren't different, there wouldn't be double standards. So naturally, they're going to be there. Yeah, so it's true that it's best to wait for marriage for both men and women. But when you compare the male mind to the female mind and the things that they find valuable, a man's body count is not what makes him valuable. What makes him valuable is how good is he at protecting and providing. Can he support a large amount of people? Is he good at what he does? For women, what makes them valuable is their, what's the right word? Chastity. Women usually don't care how many women a guy has been with. That's usually not their main priority. She's more concerned with how stable is this man's life? How stable can he make my life? Women, they're not concerned with the same things as men. Men are more concerned with, is she a woman of virtue? Does she have self-control? Does she sleep around? Because I know, I'll give you an example. Let's say you work at an oil rig and you'll be away from home for like 9 months at a time. No man is going to marry a woman if he's in that workforce and she's promiscuous. Because if she can't wait 9 months, if it only took her a couple of dates or a few dates for her to sleep with him, then what does that tell him? She'll just sleep with any man in a few dates.
Can I interject?
Yeah, go ahead.
Most of the time, it is the men initiating.
This is
It's true.
It's
true.
But
true.
what does the heat go on to the woman?
It's a two-party thing.
That's true. That's why women's most powerful ability is the ability to say no. It's true. Men are going to initiate. Men are men. I'm just going to say how it is. Men are men. It's up to that woman to say no. No.
Back to the double standard, though. There are some women out there that initiate, though.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
This is the ones without souls, yeah.
Yeah.
This is my opinion, though. I think we have to stay Christian focused, like God focused, God centered. If you're both Christians, there's no one initiating anything, right? If you're looking at God, nobody is like, let's sleep on the first day, second day, third day. It's not happening. If a girl tries that with me, it's a no because I'm a Christian.
Amen.
And if I tried that with a girl, it's a no because she's a Christian.
Amen.
That's how I think it should be.
I would like to interject because temptation is a factor.
Yeah.
You want to come in?
Yeah, I mean, which one?